There's this patent move, I call it. Whenever I think of a spin move, I think of Dwight Freeney.
Yeah.
Where did that come from, and how did you just master it at the level you did?
I mean, look, this move for me originated in high school. Now, Key, I know you're going to know this. I don't know about your son going to know this, but there was, back in the 90s, all right, there was a mixtape out called, And1 Mixtapes.
Oh, I'm very familiar.
There you go. So And1 Mixtapes was basically, for those who are watching and don't understand, it was, guys on the basketball court, street basketball. And, you had the offensive guy dribbling the ball. And most of the time he may have been traveling. Who knows? There was no ref out there to call it, right? And he would try to make that defender, whoever's defending him, look as silly as possible. So he would be doing all types of moves, throwing the basketball over his shoulder, crossing, breaking ankles. So for me, I wanted to find a way to bring that to the game of football. So I was on a practice field one day, and I said, man, how do I make this offensive tackle look as silly, as crazy as possible? I want him to be falling all over himself, breaking his ankles. And for me, that happened to be a spin move. All right. And I started to kind of work it in high school, got better in college. And then by the time the pros come, I was already a well-oiled machine. And I would get real creative with it depending on how they're blocking me. But that started, really origination for me was basketball.
Yeah, I don't know why we showing Arizona Cardinal highlights, Keyshawn.
I was gonna ask, did you have like someone on And1 that you got the spin move from? Maybe like Skip to My Lou or like
it really wasn't. Nah, there wasn't. Okay. It was just more or less just me trying to be creative on the football field. Okay. That's where it was. I always had a joke. I was always called for traveling when I played on the basketball court. I'd be on the post, Key. I'll post this dude up. I'll get the ball, and now here, drop step. Every time I do a drop step, the ref called traveling on me. Now, if you look at the drop step and how you turn in the drop step, that's kind of how you move when you're doing a spin move. Mm-hmm. So maybe it was just meant for me not to play basketball, and you're taking that move to play football, right?
Yeah. How many times did you get caught though doing that spin move where you got hit in your chin?
You know what? Man, I honestly could probably count on my hand how many times that has happened.
Yeah.
And that's usually key is if they slide the protection to me and that guard is sitting waiting for me.
Yeah.
All right. And that's happened a few times. But you learn real quick after your bell get knocked, you better know where that guard is and you better know where the protection's coming because you're going to be knocked out seeing stars on that sideline. So I learned and picked up the right way to do it, right time to do it, etc.
So you got drafted by the coach in 2002 with the 11th pick in the first round. You were 6'1", 270 pounds. So you was like a little bowling ball, but small for a defensive end, defensive tackle, anywhere on the offensive line for the most part. Undersized, given the fact that they were bigger defensive ends. And there was a lot of noise. Oh, this guy's a shorter, stout guy. Maybe he's more of a nose, those sort of things. Mm-hmm. How did that affect you, if it did at all?
Well, I always like to use kind of any type of negative criticism as fuel to the fire. As a chip in your shoulder, something to keep you motivated. All those days where you're just like, man, I'm not working out today. Or I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go and do that extra rep on the bench press, squat rack, whatever. You use those moments and those times where you just want to just say, stop, it's okay. You've done enough today. And I did that throughout my entire career. I've always said, Key, what do I need to be 6'5" for? I mean, I'm not blocking shots, grabbing rebounds out here. Listen, I start at point A, I got to get to point B. That's it. That's it. And there's somebody in front of me. I have natural leverage. I'm already lower than you. So for me, it was better for me to be the stature I was. Now, I wasn't small from a weight perspective, really. I was just, I guess, not tall enough. So they wanted me to knock down passes or something. But listen, if I'm knocking down passes, I'm not doing my job because I'm not on top of the court.
Yeah, it says usually big. Like, what was the normal size for a DN like in that era? Because 270 sounds.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, they forget about the 270 part. But it's all good. It was 6'4", 6'5".
Okay. From
a height perspective. So if you look at Julius Peppers, my fellow classmate, he in that era was prototype 6'5", Bruce Smith looking guy, big.
Simeon Rice.
Simeon Rice
6'4", like those types, Reggie White, defensive end, Richard Dent, those types of big defensive ends. So when I came out, there really wasn't anybody at my size that was drafted at that time, at that place in the draft. If we were drafted, we would be a tweener, outside linebacker, maybe third down specialist per se. But, we weren't really drafted guys at, I guess, my height stature.
Man, JP was, you talk about size-wise, he was a different animal.
Peppers?
I played with him in Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, I played against him. And the first time I played against him, I'm like, what the fuck is this? This dude look different. Big old just head this big, just hands big. Like everything about him was just big. Wasn't nothing small about him at all. He just
nothing.
Huge.
Nothing. Just dominant force. You can't do nothing with him.
We absolutely hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more from us, hit that subscribe button for all videos, full episodes, and exclusive content from the show. And don't forget to find All Facts, No Breaks on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.